Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to see you guys today and to channel these messages for you. So today's pick a card video is going to be all about your destiny. What is holding you back from your destiny? What is the secret to unlocking your inner power? So if this sounds like something that interests you, then I recommend that you keep on watching. Today we're going to do 3 piles. So I have 3 different crystals lined up right here for you guys to choose from. I will show you an up close of each one so you can get a better idea for which one is for you. I know we're kind of zoomed out today a little bit. I'm trying out different angles, different lighting to see what works best. So bear with me while I adjust to the changes. So yeah, let's get into it. After I show you guys the crystals, I'm gonna ask you guys to take a moment to get in the zone so that you can decide which one is calling your name, pretty much. Try and pick with your intuition rather than your eyes, although both can kind of go hand in hand, but just make sure that you're picking the one that you feel drawn to the most. As always, timestamps will be down in the description box. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, I am available for those. Link will be in the description, or you can also email me if you don't want to go through my website. But with that in mind, let's get into each crystal. So pile number 1 is going to be the clear quartz. Pile number 2 will be the rose quartz. Oh. And pile number 3 will be the lace agate. I always say this wrong, lace agate slice. But it has the beautiful crystal variation in it. Sorry guys, I'm trying to adjust my camera angle. It's like going out of the frame, but okay. So yeah, just take a moment to decide which one is calling your name, whether it be crystal 1, crystal 2, or crystal 3. And this one won't stay up straight. I'm just gonna let it be on the side. It's not as pretty on its side, but you guys already know what it looks like. Okay, and with that in mind, I will see you guys at your timestamp. Okay, hello pile 1, welcome to your reading. So like I already said, this reading is going to be what is holding you back from your destiny, and tips to unlock your inner power. This card right here is going to be like the base of your reading so that I can get a better idea for your energy. This is a new deck for me, so if I have to refer to the guidebook, don't mind me. I just want to make sure that I'm interpreting the messages accurately as possible. I will intuitively and psychically pick up messages without looking at the guidebook first, but then I will look at it just to see if I'm on the right track or if there's anything else that I missed that I should highlight. Also, if you hear any loud banging up above, that's my upstairs neighbor, and I apologize for that in advance. I don't know if there will be any type of disruption, but in case there is, just be aware that that's what that noise is. Okay, so let's dive into the base of your reading. Okay, so right here we have the mask. And it did come up when, honestly, your spirit guides are very to the point. It's like they're here, they know what they're here to do. They're not messing around. They were very eager to give you your message right away. I didn't have to do much shuffling for this to kind of pop out. But intuitively, what I was picking up from this, because it did come up in the reverse when I shuffled it out, I feel like there's this sense of you not being true to who you really are around certain people, because I feel like there's parts of you that almost split. So it's like there's a part of you that almost goes black and white when you're around other people, and it's almost like other people are have these like expectations placed on you of what you should be, what you should be doing, how you should act, how you should dress, how you should talk, and at the end of the day, that's not really their say, their decision, but somehow, and it's like, you know this, it's like, you know that you shouldn't really care, but deep down you still do, and it's like this constant battle back and forth, like I shouldn't care about what these people think, but I still somehow do. I'm still hiding behind this mask when I'm around certain people, and even though it dims my light, it makes me feel comfortable and safe in the moment because I don't feel targeted, I don't feel ostracized, I don't feel like I'm looking from the outside in. I feel like I'm a part of the group. I feel like I'm a part of the collective, or the collective energy that I'm surrounding myself around when I'm with these people. But the only thing that you need to recognize is, are these people really for me if I can't be my true self around them? And so isn't it amazing how we're asking what is really holding you back from your potential? And maybe it's that you're not showing your true self to others. It might even be to yourself too. Maybe there's a part of you that is deep in there waiting to just be tapped into, that you're kind of not tapping into because you have this fear of what other people are going to think if you happen to fall in love with this version of yourself and can't contain it anymore. And Spirit's saying you aren't meant to fit into a container. You're meant to float and be the soul that you are in the vessel that you came in. It doesn't mean that you have to be black and white because everybody around you sees the world in that way. There's this quote in one of my oracle decks that I use, which I love, and it's an angel oracle deck, and it says, learn to pity those who see the world in, or learn to pity those who are not aware of the higher realms, or it's something like that. Learn to pity those who are not aware of higher universal knowledge. That's what it is. They see the world in black and white when you see it in color. And this can be triggering for people around you. Some people instinctively know that you have this light within you, and sometimes you can repel them in a way or mirror to them, and this can be triggering for them. And this is why they want to almost suppress your energy and keep you in a box, because it's more comfortable for them. If you are not leveling up, then they have no pressure to level up as well. And something to really note is a lot of people don't show their true selves to the outside world or to the people around them because they have shame within them for some reason. There is something about themselves that they have not grown to integrate. They have not learned to accept it yet within themselves. And that is not your job, to belittle yourself and make yourself smaller because other people are too scared to do it. That is not your path. And that is the one biggest thing that I'm hearing is holding you back. Caring too much about what other people think and putting this mask on around certain people. Now, I'm hoping that's really resonating. That's something that's really coming in really strong. I just want to look and see what is in this guidebook, just so that I can make sure that I'm on the right page, even though I feel like I am. I really do. Here we are, the mask. Interesting. Yeah, the mask, the persona, the performance, the reveal. We often think of a mask as something that conceals our identity, yet contemplate the possibility that the mask permits our true identity to be revealed. It allows. The mask gives the voice to that which was previously rejected. When this card appears, enact the side of you that is seeking expression, yet was never given a role to play on the stage of your life. You are in the realm of theater, so anything is possible. Speak with the other's voice, embody the other's limbs. You are taking part in the ritual of expanding the self. There may be mischief and deception around, and others may be trying on new masks too. No one is sure who is who. It's likely you've become so attached to a single mask that you need to fall face forward into this perception bending time. Trust it. So because this was not upright, it would be the shadow side, so further conceals what is rejected. Yeah. There's some part of you that you feel is not being integrated into the group you're around or the world in general, and this is why you're masking who you really are. Or it could be that sometimes you feel like a bit of a shapeshifter around certain people, because there's certain people that I feel like you can kind of be more of yourself with, and then there's other people that kind of just, I hear, suck the energy out of you. So be vigilant when you're around these energies, because I feel like they do hold you back from speaking your truth and being who you really are. And just like that excerpt said as well, don't be afraid to try on different masks if the one that you currently have is not working for you. Like the card said, or the excerpt, it's not a bad thing necessarily to have a mask. It's more so if that mask isn't true to who you really feel like you are deep down. You might wear a mask when you don't feel confident in a certain role or in a certain environment just yet, but that's just you adapting to the possibility of what you can be. This is something that is really cool about this archetypes guidebook and deck. The whole premise of it is that an archetype is an archetype, and it's not anything set in stone and solid. Anybody can take on and off an archetype when they feel like it. And if you're feeling guided in a certain direction, but you feel like almost imposter syndrome type energy, then just understand that you just need to switch your archetypal mask, and that is it. Because nobody embodies an archetype 100% all of the time. We are all floating variations of archetypes. We all have our archetypes within us. It's not something that one person has and another doesn't. It's all about, what do I want to be tomorrow? What do I want to be today? Yeah, so Nine of Pentacles. I really hope that this is, yeah, I think that's upright in the camera. I shoot my videos almost like facing me, like you would see the cards during a reading, so sometimes I'm like, I don't know if they can see these properly. But so Nine of Pentacles, yes, there's abundance waiting for you, and I feel like you're very abundant, whether you realize it or not. I feel like you possess a lot of beauty, and I feel like you work really hard for the things that you have. But Spirit wants you to know that you're more abundant than you even give yourself credit for, and it's all about kind of introspection at this point. You're in a stage where you might not feel the way that you truly are, because there's almost this sense of resistance into jumping into a new journey almost. It's like you're holding on to this old perception or this old version of yourself. And Spirit really wants you to go within and reflect, what is true to my soul? What feels right in my soul? I feel like there's a bit of resistance here with the Fool card in reverse. I don't know if that looks reverse. See, I'm like, what is reverse on the camera? Yeah, there's almost this feel of resistance to step into the person that you are, because it's like this Nine of Pentacles energy, it's like, this is who you are, this is who you're meant to become. You will attain everything that you want as long as you work hard for what you want and who you want to be. It's gonna come to you. It's all within your reach. But I feel like part of you thinks that it's further away than it really is, but all it really takes is just shifting away this energy of masking who you really are. There's also this sense of like, I don't know if right now you're feeling like you're in a hermit stage, so literally you feel very isolated or wanting to be isolated from others, because it's almost like, when I'm isolated from others, I can just be myself. I can explore who I want to be. I don't really have to put on a face, you know? And so this might actually cause you to retreat a little bit, because it's easier to be with your energy alone than having to entertain other people's energies. And also mimic what they want from you, if that makes sense. I feel like there's a resistance to look within though, in a way. It's like, you know something's off, you know something doesn't feel right. It's like you keep hitting a brick wall. And it's kind of like you're hoping that life will just kind of give you direction as you go, and it will. You are surrounded by angels and guides that are guiding you every way. But I feel like there's this reluctance to look within, or this reluctance to see signs and synchronicities around you. They're really highlighting the fact that you wear a mask around. And they're telling me that maybe when you're around other people, it's like you put on this show as to, and I've already said this, but almost this show as in like you put on a show that you feel more abundant than you really do. I feel like you're quite an introvert in a sense, that you really like to sit with your own energy, because being around other people kind of overwhelms you. And hey, I relate. I get it. Empath problems. but I feel like it's almost like there's some type of integration that is needed before you can advance, because the Fool in reverse is limiting in a sense, you know. It's like you're not ready to leap forward, or you have resistance leaping forward. It could be even or. I do really feel like right now is a time for reflection for you. I think you need to get serious about who you want to be and who you identify with deep down. Like, who am I? You know, I feel like, maybe there's a tendency for you to focus too much on the external world, as in resources, beauty, status. But Spirit wants you to look within, and they want you to kind of explore the more colorful version of yourself, because the more that you stop and go within and actually start connecting with your soul, the more you realize that, oh wait, maybe I don't value all the things that I pretend I value. Maybe there's actually more to me than just material. I do feel like you're very well integrated into the 3D, into the world. I do feel like you're quite grounded. I do feel like you know what you want. When you want something, you go and get it. But there's almost a sense of like urgency with you, where like you feel like you need to be like hopping onto the next thing constantly, and it's almost like you do this so that you don't have enough time to sit with yourself. And Spirit's really calling you to sit with yourself, because I feel like the more that you sit with yourself and kind of see how much color there is within rather than on the outside, I feel like that's where a lot of the answers that you need will come. And I think that's where you'll find your inner power. Spirit's telling me that there's almost a need to stop focusing so much on the external and focus more on the internal, because it needs some nurturing at this time. Are we gonna use these? Sure. Yeah. Yeah, Spirit really wants you to stop focusing on racing towards financial abundance or feeling like there's some type of rush. I always love to say the things that are meant to find you, they always will. They won't miss you. And so I feel like there's almost like this heavy emphasis on your material wealth, your possessions, where you're going to be financially. And I feel like you have a bit of internal antsiness when it comes to it, because it's like you feel like it's like you can feel the abundance, but you can't necessarily see it right now. And I feel like this kind of causes you to put on a bit of like, I don't want to say fake energy, but just energy that maybe isn't totally you. Because it's like you almost feel like in order to gain other people's respect, you have to be a certain way. And Spirit's saying you need to let go of these expectations and almost focus on a creative project that you're being handed. I feel like you sometimes have the tendency to overlook your gifts, and instead you kind of carry on the gifts that you think other people would like. I feel like you're somebody that is very giving. You love to really give a lot of your energy to other people. And Spirit's saying you need to start giving your energy more to yourself. There's a sense of needing to connect with the self, connect with the internal colorful world that is within you. I do feel like there's a creative project or creative idea, new career idea that has started. And you're going to be working very diligently at that. And there might also be a slight sense or a fear that people might overlook you and your work, but I wouldn't worry about that at all. The people that are meant to fill your cup and the people that you're meant to fill their cup, obviously will fill yours first. Like I said, they won't miss you. It's like there's energetic ties. And it's like sooner or later they'll be pulled in your direction. But I do see you working very hard at mastering something that you find is very important to you. Yeah, okay, now I see it. Okay, so I feel like there's some type of urgency with your abundance, and this, you kind of were offered or gifted a very good, more so project, creative project, career change, and I do feel you working very diligently to achieving your goals, and you totally will. The biggest thing that Spirit's saying is holding you back is that you overlook parts of yourself that might actually be very, very, very beneficial to implement or incorporate into the line of work that you want to do. Or even if it's not a necessarily career or work, just a project. There's some need to kind of become more expressive, creative, animated in a way with your work. You don't have any problem working hard. You know how to put your head down and really go to work. And that is Spirit's really commanding you for that. But you create resistance when you rush to things. When you rush to needing abundance, needing recognition, needing status. When you focus on these things, it's almost like you're dampening your energy. You're limiting your potential. Spirit doesn't want you to overlook your inner gifts. Spirit doesn't want you to overlook your inner creativity. You might be saying, well, Lillian, I'm not really that creative. I don't feel that creative. I get stumped with creative ideas. It's just because you're not looking within. You're looking outside too much. And Spirit wants you to take a step back from doing that. And they want you to clear, cancel, and release people, energies, ideas that do not resonate with who you are or where you want to go, because ultimately these are the things that are going to benefit you the most and propel you forward. I think that there's really a need for some reflection, need to step back, need to reevaluate what your goals are in life and where you're focusing a lot of your energy. And two, like, I know it can be frustrating sometimes waiting for things to manifest. Especially when you're working so hard to manifest certain things. But sometimes the more resistance that you create and the more you rush, the more you actually experience setbacks. And this is the universe's way of kind of putting you in your place and saying, no, 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 all in divine timing. You must learn to trust. You must learn to understand that one day you will be in this Nine of Pentacles energy. You will have everything you need and you will have the fruits of your labor pay off. But the biggest thing is you can't get there until you have true introspection, until you truly stop listening to everybody outside. Allow yourself to rest. It's okay to not always be on the go. If you're passionate about something and it really does fill your cup, it really does make you feel more connected, then you can go ahead and obviously work on that when you feel called to. But Spirit really wants you to understand that rest and introspection is also work. Nobody really likes sitting and taking a time out and having to think about things too much, right? that takes having to be real and take your mask off. It makes you take a step back. It makes you reevaluate, and sometimes the things that you realize after your evaluation is that, oh, maybe certain people, energies, habits, ideas, perceptions that I have are not in my best interest. Maybe I'm worried too much about the wrong things and it's actually creating resistance in my life. I almost feel like there's a sense of self-care that gets neglected with you. With the Seven of Swords, I feel like sometimes you tend to overlook the self-care that is needed to balance out the hard work that you do. And you have to remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Life is slow in this incarnation in a way, you know? Yep. What do you need to release? The energy's gaining momentum. Be bold and make the first move. So yeah, it could be that there's a certain project that you've been thinking about that you just feel like is kind of stagnant because you've been in this kind of like stage of reflection. And I also am feeling a bit of like imposter syndrome coming through. It's like you want to be this Nine of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, but it's almost like this rush to prove to others that you already are that. And it's okay. Like, you don't have to be everything that you want to be before your time comes. And it's important to kind of take a step back, prioritize, okay, what do I need more of? Do I need more hard work? I don't think so. I've got that in the bag. Do I need more self-care? Probably. Do I need more reflection? Probably. Do I need to care less about what other people think? Probably. Or even it's like just sitting down and reprioritizing. What is no longer serving you? What do you need to release? What do you need to cancel out of your life? What is no longer an energetic match? Is it overthinking your dreams? Is it overthinking what other people are going to think if you don't attain them? And what are you overlooking? What is it that you're turning a blind eye to around you? There's something that you're turning a blind eye to. It's like you know that the energy that you're operating in maybe isn't genuine. And it's not even coming from within you. I think it's coming from outside, and you've just grown so accustomed to just dealing with it. The energy is gaining momentum though. I feel like if you've been in like a hermit mode, I see. Yeah, I feel, okay, so I'm hearing after you need to sit down and write down a list of what is no longer serving you. And I don't just mean people, I mean energies that you harness, because at the end of the day, sometimes those are the energies that affect us the most, because if we learn how to be comfortable with our energy and which really matters to us, then it doesn't really matter what other people think, because we know that this is the right thing for us. I feel like as soon as you make the first move and towards self-reflection and getting really honest with you and take a step back as to what are your long-term goals, what are the things that are really going to make my soul happy, and not just financial things. I feel like you've already got the finances, the things on the 3D under control. This is more spiritual work that you're being asked to do, more self-reflect, and not even spiritual, but just, sorry, I got cut off there. But yeah, you're being definitely called to make more of a effort to be more self-reflective in the things that are bogging your energy down, things that are not serving your energy. Negative people that are very surface level, or people that don't see your vision, people that don't support you, people that give you shitty criticism that isn't helpful at all. Constructive criticism is one thing, but criticism that doesn't help at all is another. And I feel like once you start to release these things and cancel the energies that do not work for you anymore, I feel like that's when you're going to see a lot of things pick up speed. And don't overlook your potential. You have so much potential within you, and I feel like this is part of the reason why you're so hyper focused and hyper anxious about where you're going to be and where you're going to be financially and how others are going to regard you and blah 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 blah. And it's like, don't overlook your feelings, don't overlook your soul, don't overlook introspection, don't overlook self-care. You need to make these things a priority as much as you make your work a priority. But yeah, I definitely do feel you doing the work. I think that the work that you do is going to just fill your cup up. You're going to see more people coming to you with offers. You're going to see people coming to you that have more pure intentions. Once you cut out the people that honestly don't, once you cut out the identity and the energy that no longer resonates with your soul and isn't really your soul and is more so your ego, I'm hearing that there's a need to distinguish between ego and soul. Some of you get confused with what is my ego, what is my soul. Your ego is very focused on material wealth. Material wealth isn't wrong, it's not bad, but when that's the only thing you care about and you neglect the other aspects of yourself, it becomes a problem, right? So yeah, I already feel like you have all the material stuff under wraps. Spirit's really calling you to stop worrying about this and stop trying to rush whatever it is, like whatever vision you have for yourself. Stop trying to rush it. Focus on this new idea that's coming to you. Put your soul into it, but don't overlook your self-care. Allow yourself to self-reflect when you get stuck or when you feel overwhelmed. Allow yourself to take a step back in those moments and think to yourself, what do I need to release? What energy or self-thoughts or patterns, behaviors that I have in my everyday, energies around me, people I engage with, things I consume, what can I let go of? What is not serving me? What is not making me feel good? What is not constructive to my journey? These are things you need to cut out. And you need to be bold about them. You can't be shy and you can't wait for them to walk out of your life. This is something that you need to take control of. And I'm telling you right now, that is the biggest thing holding you back from your destiny, because you have everything else under wraps. You have everything else under control and you're good with everything else. It's just this one aspect of your life. There's some need to integrate your soul into your current incarnation or into your current vessel, into your current life. There's a need to integrate the soul into it a little bit more. And I do feel like you operate a lot with your soul, but more so tuning into your soul. And in order to do that, you need to take a step back and you cannot overlook it. That's the biggest thing I'm hearing. Don't overlook your inner voice. Don't overlook your intuitive hits. And once you do this, you will see how quick things fall in your lap. Anyway, pile one, I hope that this really resonated with you. I hope you guys have an amazing morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you may be watching this. I'm sending you all so much love and light, and until next time. Hi, pile two, welcome to your reading. If you chose this beautiful rose quartz, which I hope is focusing. Yes, thank you. Then this is your reading. So just a disclaimer, upstairs neighbor sounds like is doing like wall hanging or something. So if you hear any banging, that's why. I'm also really excited to use this new deck that I have. It's an oracle deck of archetypes. So I'm excited to dive into what is under here for you. Yes, because it is a new deck. If I do get a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Stuck on the message a little bit, it's just because I'm trying to get used to the energy of the cards. But that being said, with pile one, the energy was really flowing really well with the archetype cards, so I'm not too worried. But just in case you notice a bit of lull, that's why. Okay, so let's reveal what spirit has for you. Ooh, the castle. And this was in the upright position, so I don't feel like this card has like super negative tones to it, but there is stuff that you definitely need to hear today. So this reading specifically is what is holding you back from your destiny, and what is some tips that your angels and guides have for you in order to overcome this setback or the things that are holding you back. So right away what I picked up from this card is that you do have some pretty heavy walls built up around your heart specifically. You chose the rose quartz. There's a lot of green in this card. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the tear. Again, sorry guys, because I'm using a new like position to film. So I don't really know if this is upright or upside down for you guys when you see it. So bear with me if I like adjust the cards a bunch of times. But so I feel like there's definitely some type of emotional baggage, emotional trauma, emotional something that needs to come out. I feel like you are quite a beautiful soul. I feel like you might also be very beautiful physically, but there is this sense of coldness that kind of comes through sometimes, and it feels like this holds you back from feeling your way through life. I hope that makes sense. When I say feel your way through life, I just mean, I feel like you're very cerebral. I feel like you definitely, even though, I mean, if you're on these picker cards, you're obviously sensitive in some way, but I feel that you are, they're called like the banana skin sensitives. So you're quite, you're more so grounded in this reality, in the 3D. You're more in like your lower chakras rather than your higher chakras. And I feel like this is what's blocking you, because I feel like there's a lot of intuitive hits that could be delivered to you. And I feel like they are delivered to you, but there's almost a tendency to ignore them for more logical means of approaching. And I don't blame you at all, because I do this all the time, even to this day, and I need to learn, well, I need to almost have like a little talk with myself and realize, hey, or, okay, this is what, I'm getting all over the place, my bad, okay. So what I'm trying to say is sometimes, for example, like yesterday, I was going to the store and, well, to the mall specifically, I wanted to find a dress because I'm going to be doing a photo shoot, and I wanted to find a dress, so I went, you know, I was walking on the outside of the mall, and something in me told me, go in indigo, go in indigo, go in indigo. And I was like, no, spirit, I don't want to go in indigo. I want to go get a dress. Literally, I walk into the mall, I walk into the store that I was going to, and I hear the cashier telling another group of people, hey, by the way, we're closing in 6 minutes. Don't blame me, the mall hours are messed up. They say something different on the site. But anyway, so on my way out, I was just gonna walk into the mall, but then something in me, again, nudged me to go in indigo, and I did, and that's when I got this deck. So that's kind of like the example that I wanted to give you, because I feel like you go through similar things where it's like you have this feeling, oh, do this, or this should be better for you, and then you can kind of just like ignore it. And that's okay. Like, some of us are more upper chakra and we're not as grounded, and therefore we have other struggles, and other people are more lower chakras, they're more grounded, but they have a harder time with the upper ones, and that's totally okay. Spirit's saying and validating that that's okay. Everybody has their own journey to kind of unfold as they go, and this just happens to be yours, and it isn't anything bad necessarily, but they are really highlighting that your heart chakra is a bit blocked off, and this might also, I do feel like you're very empathic, but I feel like sometimes you have a hard time showing this to other people because your walls are quite high. Or it could be that people are just very intimidated by you because you are quite beautiful, or you have a very beautiful aura to you, and people can kind of shy away from you a little bit, and this can kind of make you feel upset because it makes you feel more isolated than you really are, or less admired than you really are. And just know that some people are just a little bit more shy to very strong, radiant, emitting type energies, because it is kind of intimidating to deal with, right? Like, it's intimidating to approach, it's intimidating to compliment, all of that. So I feel like this has happened to you throughout life, and it's kind of left you feeling alone, and like you kind of have to build up these castles. I also do feel like there was some type of I'm hearing parental heart trauma. I don't know if you had a very father is coming up specifically. I don't know if you had a difficult relationship with your father, or something regarding the father is coming up. It could be even that you kind of inherited these traits from your father, where like he kind of was a little bit more cold and distant and didn't really show his cards, like his heart cards. I've never said that before. The cards of his heart, there we go. And maybe he didn't really show the cards of his heart too much, and you kind of like picked that up from him. But Spirit's really highlighting that this is the biggest thing that's holding you back. You have everything else in the bag pretty much. It's just the emotional integration that needs to happen for you to unlock your true power, because I feel like you almost limit the insight and the guidance that you get when you close off your heart, because this is how Spirit communicates with us, especially angels. They come in through the heart chakra, and when your heart chakra is blocked off, you have a really hard time connecting, but also not only with other people, with yourself, but also with the higher realm. So that's the biggest thing. If you are trying to connect and you feel like you're having a hard time, I would recommend doing a heart chakra unblocking meditation or clearing. Even I'm hearing as well, doing some type of cord cutting meditation will also be very beneficial for you, because I do feel like there's a lot of sorrow that you've kind of like stuffed down in your heart, and this can sometimes too choke you up from speaking your feelings. I feel like you don't have a hard time speaking your thoughts, but it's more so your feelings that you kind of struggle with a little bit. And I know that especially because right now my throat is getting dry, and I know that that typically means that the person I'm reading for is having a hard time expressing their emotions, especially because you picked the rose quartz and there's a lot of green around here. But I also want to just let you know that if you're shy or scared to show people this vulnerable side of you, no one in your life at this point is going to take advantage of you because you're so strong. You've really learned resilience, and you don't have to be worried about showing the side of yourself to other people because A, it's natural, B, it's integral to your being. I don't want to use the spirit one at a time, please. It's integral to you, but also it's actually quite beautiful. I'm hearing that once you integrate this part of yourself, people will view you as even more beautiful than you already are, and you're going to attract not only a lot of love offers, I'm hearing, but a lot of friendship. You won't be feeling as isolated anymore. You just gotta let some people in, you know? The things that you're holding in your heart, they're not as bad as you think. There will be people around that will understand. Okay, angels and guides of pile number 2. Angels and guides of pile number 2. What is holding them back from their destiny? What is holding them back from their destiny? Angels and guides of pile number 2. What is holding pile 2 back? Yeah. A lot of internal anxiety. Well, I mean, I don't know. Those cards are out of control today. Internal anxiety. There's a need to move on from something. If you're staying up late at night overthinking, just know that this is all part of the process. You're going through these difficult emotions because Spirit wants you to finally face the wounds in your heart, I'm hearing. Angels and guides of pile number 2. Angels and guides of pile number 2. What do they need to hear? Angels and guides of pile number 2. Angels and guides of pile number 2. What is holding them back from their potential? What is holding pile number 2 back from their destiny, Spirit? Yep. Okay. Angels and guides of pile number 2. Angels and guides of pile number 2. What is holding them back from their destiny? What is holding them back from their destiny? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so there's almost this feeling of mental resistance coming from you when it comes to diving in. I don't know if you guys can see these, sorry. I feel like they're always like out of the frame. That's my bad. I'm just like not paying attention half the time. But yeah, I'm feeling like either you've been going through a time period where like you're really having a lot of like anxiety at night, specifically relating to some type of sorrow. And I just wanted to let you know that if that's the case, that's going to be coming to an end very soon. But I'm more so getting the feeling that it's like avoidance. Like you're avoiding thinking about these things or going through these emotions because they're quite triggering for you. And hey, I don't blame you. Like I understand like things that are very traumatic, they're kind of hard to sit with and go back to because it's like you just start like the tears just start flowing. And I feel like there's a sense of you that like I don't know if your household was very like cold in a way, like you guys didn't cry much, like the weakness was not like something that was accepted very much. And I feel like this has kind of caused you to like be a little bit more reclusive with your feelings and things that are deep down that are kind of stuck. Again, a lot of heart chakra stuff. But Spirit wants you to know that nobody's going to judge you. In reality, you have control over how you let other people's words affect you. And Spirit wants you to almost focus on on practicing energetic separation while still being emotionally integrated, if that makes sense. So they don't want you, because I feel like for you it's like it's either one way or the other, it's black or white. It's like either you're very emotionally integrated and you're very sensitive and you let other people kind of affect how you feel, and you allow other people like almost like make your energy fluctuate. And then there's this other part of you that doesn't like when that happens because you feel out of control. And so what you do instead is you create this really thick, tall wall so that nobody can penetrate them. And instead you're just kind of like stone. You know what I mean? And Spirit's letting me know that once you actually flip this energy around, so once you actually start sitting with your feelings a little bit more, once you start listening to the intuitive hits that are coming through a little bit more, you might not hear them as strongly as you will once you start healing this heart chakra issue, but I'm hearing that you still feel the intuition very strongly. You still get very strong like guidance or like feelings of reassurance, but Spirit's telling me that as soon as you start kind of like dealing with this trauma or the baggage within your heart, that's when this huge awakening is going to take place, this huge shift in your energy, and you're going to learn how to really balance both sides of you. Because I feel like the reason why you're so closed off is because you really take on a lot of people's energy, you really absorb other people's energy. I do feel like you're a very strong empath. It's just you've kind of closed yourself off to your gifts because they've left you feeling very high and dry, I'm hearing. They've left you feeling anxious, they've left you feeling out of control, and you don't like feeling out of control, especially when it comes to your emotions. But Spirit's saying once you start dealing with these emotions on your own or with somebody that you can trust, that's when this great balancing act is going to come in, and you're actually going to find your true power when you start balancing out these energies that come from the outside and the inside. You're going to have this like perfect balance of give and take energetically, where you know when to stop absorbing other people, because it's very important to still be empathetic with the people that you care about and the people around. Like that is part of being human and part of being a spiritual being in a human body. But we also need to not let that affect us to the point where we like can't operate because we're so consumed by other people's feelings. But at the same time, you don't want to be a total brick wall where like nobody can penetrate you, because what type of life is that? But I feel like once you start, again, dealing with these emotions, letting the emotions flow, and almost believing that there's something higher than you guiding you, that's when I feel like this big growth is going to come. And there's almost going to be this natural transformation that is already waiting. Like, I really do feel like there's energy waiting already to be unlocked. It's just more so like it's there already. I'm feeling like it's there, but it's more so like there's exactly like it is here. It's like, okay, like all of this is already around you, but it's like you have these walls up that won't let it in. So as soon as you let it in, I feel like you're gonna feel and see like giant transformations. See, oh, vulnerability and freedom. Again, I hope this is upright. Yeah, for the camera. Okay, see, once you learn to be more vulnerable, that's when you will find the ultimate freedom, and that's when you'll feel the most at peace. Because I feel like there's a bit of internal, the word is that's coming through, rigidity. I've never really used that word before, but internal rigidity that is coming, that I'm feeling. And I'm telling you right now, again, there's a lot of green over here. I'm telling you right now that that's just because of the heart trauma that you have. And Spirit and your angels are telling me that this is literally your key to freedom. Being vulnerable. Composure. Yeah, I feel like you can be, it's weird because it's almost like in a sense you're very grounded. But there's almost a part of you that is very intuitive, and it's just like kind of waiting to be unlocked. But it's like because your heart chakra is blocked, the energy can't make it all the way up to your crown and third eye is what I'm hearing. I feel like you have you might even be a channeler. You might be able to hear spirit as well. But look, listen deeply. I would recommend a meditation practice if you aren't already a part, like in one. because I'm hearing that this will help you almost. So okay, 100% you need to do the heart meditation, clear those cords through meditation, and start working through some of these feelings, some of the trauma. Journaling might be really good for you to kind of like help temper the emotions that you have. And that's when you'll actually start seeing a lot of growth in your life. But spirit's all around you. Spirit tries to whisper to you all the time. It's just more so I feel like you kind of shut it out a little bit. And your angels and guides are saying, like, the more that you meditate, the more that you kind of like allow your energy to be still and allow yourself to feel more, because I feel like you kind of try and not be in the moment a lot of the time with your feelings, because it's a little bit overwhelming. And Spirit's telling me the more composure that you have and the more vulnerable that you are, the clearer you'll hear Spirit, the quicker you'll heal, and you'll almost have this like guiding light that comes in and gives you like very clear direction, because I feel like you tend to overthink and you kind of go I don't know, is this the right mood? Like you don't trust your intuition, and it's not because it's weak, it's because you're too cerebral and you're not allowing Spirit to kind of step in and help you. It's like, no, I've got this on my own. I've dealt with, you know, all this pain for so long, like I don't need anybody else to help me. But it's like we all need help sometimes, and it doesn't mean that you're weak. It just means that you're human. Hold your vision. I feel like you have like this big dream of who you really want to be. And I feel like part of you really does long to be more intuitive, more connected, more sensitive. I feel like this kind of does bug you because deep down your soul is quite sensitive. And so Spirit just wants you to hold this vision of who you want to be. And also start learning how you can integrate that person into your life day to day. It doesn't have to be a huge drastic shift from one day to the other, but Spirit's really calling you to hold the vision of who you want to be in the future, and have what's the word? They're saying don't have resistance. Don't have resistance to who you want to be, because it's possible. Be bold and make the first move. Yeah. Time to give. Another green card. Time to give rather than take. But I'm not feeling like necessarily to others, but to yourself. It's like it's time to give yourself the love that you give the people that honestly I'm hearing don't deserve it, but there might be some people that maybe don't deserve your openness at times. And you know what? That could be why you feel shut down sometimes, because it's like you give that sensitive part of yourself to the wrong people and they just don't understand you, you know? But Spirit really wants you to hold the vision of who you are, or not who you are, but who you want to become. And what is like the ideal version of me, you know? And just be bold and make the first move towards your healing. Like, it's not a scary journey once you're in it. It's only scary before you embark on it, but that's only because you're entering into unknown waters. But Spirit and angels are all around you, and they're telling me that there's no need to be scared, because they'll be with you every step of the way. I do hear that there's a bit of a tendency to be stubborn. This is this way. Bit of a tendency to be stubborn when other people are trying to give you advice. Like, you might even be like, no, I don't need that. You don't know me right now. But Spirit just wants you to be a little bit more open to maybe working with others, being more vulnerable around other people. Once you start working on this inner trauma, you might have a moon in Virgo, and it kind of makes you a little bit emotionally distant, emotionally cold, or just kind of closed off at times, or maybe like you just kind of are more analytical with your emotions. But again, that doesn't mean that you're any less empathic. It doesn't mean that you're any less tuned in or capable of being tuned in, or whatever it is. It just means that it's a bit of a learning lesson, and just managing your energy is just, you know, just a balancing act. I'm hearing. I hear once you truly balance both sides of you, the more analytical, detached, and the more soft and emotional side, I feel like that's when the real you will step in, and that's when your inner power will be unleashed. Mark my words. Okay, pile 2, I really hope that this message resonated for you guys. I'm sending you all the love and light. Hope you guys have a great morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you may be watching this. But until next time. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. If you chose this crystal right here, let's just hope it focuses. Again, I'm getting used to this camera angle, so if I'm just kind of like figuring out where, oh my gosh, there we go. Okay, if you chose this crystal, then this is your reading. Okay, so this reading, as I already said, is going to be what is holding you back from your destiny and some tips to unlock your inner power. I did already call in your angels and guides to please help me, you know, pick the first card for you. And so let's see what you got. Interesting. The sword. I love this oracle deck. I'm so happy I got it. This is a newer oracle deck. I've never worked with this deck. I've seen lots of other readers using it. And I've always felt very intrigued by it, and then the other day I actually was guided to go and get it, and so I'm glad that I did because I'm absolutely loving it. I hope that you also are a fan of the graphics on here because I think they're just awesome. But with that in mind, let's get into your message. So the first thing I heard when I saw your card here, the sword, was that your thoughts can either invigorate or poison you. Nah, I was gonna say your mind, but your mind is your mind. Sorry, your thoughts can either invigorate or poison your thoughts. That's what I heard. It's like double-edged sword with you. It's like you have very awesome, creative, beautiful ideas one second, and then the other second it feels like sometimes when things maybe aren't manifesting as quickly as you thought they would or in the way that you thought they would, it's kind of like you let all of those emotions take a hold of you rather than stepping out of them and realizing that there might be a greater purpose for why something's happening or why there's a roadblock. And I don't want you to feel bad about this at all, because I feel like a lot of us deal with this. This is something that I continuously have to work on. I also feel like my thoughts you know, can run wild sometimes, exactly like thunder. And, you know, sometimes that thunder can hit and be like a eureka moment where you just have this amazing idea. And it's like, wow, where has this idea been all my life? And then there's other moments where maybe you're not as grounded or in a, sorry, I'm just gonna adjust my ring light because the light's flickering. Okay. I don't know if that was spirit telling me it's too dim in here, but hopefully that's better. What was I saying? Oh yes, okay, so the lightning, it's almost like sometimes you strike these ideas that are like pure gold, and then other times it's like you hit a chord within yourself. And speaking of chord, so I'm hearing that there might actually be old cords that you need to cut with people that you've slept with in the past, people that you've had relationships with in the past, people from your childhood, parents, but it's more so feels like the first 3 that I listed. I would recommend definitely doing a cord cutting meditation. I think that this might help you a lot. Something that I heard once was when you have these like drastic shifts in your moods, sometimes it's not even your energy. Sometimes it's like this like attachment or cord that you have energetically with somebody else, and it's almost like their energy is in a way, I don't want to say poisoning yours because I feel like that's a little bit dramatic, but it's almost like, yeah, polluting it, I think, is a better one. And that's exactly what we see on this side, right? Like the pollution side of your thoughts, the sword symbolizing your thoughts, and this side, the very colorful, expansive, creative, beautiful side that you have within you. Also, you might be affected by full moons. That might be something that really does F with your energy, I'm hearing. And okay, I want to say waxing gibbous moon is your most potent one. That's just what I heard. So if I were you, I would definitely keep track of the moon cycles. I've even been told to do this myself. You might have I heard Leo or Cancer moon. Definitely I would check out the moon cycles. Yeah, you might also be a Leo sun, ascendant, moon. That's what I'm picking up. Yeah, check out the moon cycles, see if that makes sense. And I would almost track it. So like, okay, during full moon, am I energetically feeling more tense? Am I energetically feeling like I'm overthinking more? And then if you can kind of connect the dots, then you don't let these emotions kind of take a hold of you, because you're in control of them. You understand where they're coming from, and they're not as debilitating, I'm hearing. And then also when, you know, this moon cycle over here, the waxing gibbous one, when that's approaching, I'm hearing that that's when your creativity really takes like a ramp up. I'm hearing it ramps up at that point. So if you can, I would definitely almost schedule really important creative projects around that time, and then maybe try and get some time out during full moon periods, because I feel like that can be a little triggering. Yeah, and then at the bottom of the deck, here we have this threshold. How much are you willing to handle? I'm hearing. How much longer are you gonna stand on a shaky emotional foundation until it just falls underneath you, and you have to deal with the root cause of what's really bothering you? I also feel like once you clear out these old energies, I'm hearing that you're gonna like, there's gonna be a breakthrough, an energetic breakthrough. I'm hearing that right now you're almost held in a capsule in a way, in an energetic capsule, because there's things that you need to deal with before you can advance into the next, I don't know why evolutionary cycle just came in, but maybe you are somebody that phoenixes quite a bit. You might have a lot of Scorpio in your chart, or a prominent Pluto, which causes a lot of like cocoon, butterfly type transformations in your life. And I feel like you're about to have a breakthrough as soon as you recognize that the one thing that's holding you back are these karmic cords that you don't even realize are what's really affecting your energy. I feel like you're letting a lot of things burn at you that don't need to burn at you. Like, a lot of this stuff isn't for you to carry anymore. A lot of it is just old baggage that you need to clear out. But I do feel a lot of fire energy with you. So I don't know, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. I do feel Leo is prominent. Potentially even Virgo. Yeah, so pile 2, I believe, also had similar cards, Temperance and the Hermit. There's a need to be with yourself, to temper your thoughts 100%. Your thoughts are driving you nuts. Your thoughts are really the one thing that I feel like can be so powerful and destructive at the same time, you know? And I think that the more that you focus and take a time out, and the more introspection that you get, it's almost like your path becomes clearer for you, and there's less struggle and resistance, I'm hearing. Because there's almost a need for you to learn how to, I just heard induct yourself into a flow state. I don't know why induct, I don't know if that's relevant at all, but yeah, induct a flow state. Oh my god, I just realized you guys can't see these cards. Sorry. Okay, let's move that over here. I gotta get better at that. I know half the time you guys can't see the cards. It's just because I'm like in my own world and I'm just channeling, and I just don't want to lose, like I just don't realize where the cards are, and then like, you know, And I have so much junk up here. It's like, maybe I should just clear that out. Spirit's like, yep. Lesson learned, lesson learned. Yeah, I feel like the biggest thing holding you back is just like the way that your thoughts trigger certain emotions that have kind of been like pushed down. I'm hearing hidden away. There's almost like the shadow side that needs to be looked at and integrated with. But there's no need to fear. There's no need to be worried. I don't think that you're on the wrong track. I do feel like everything that you're going through right now is meant to happen. I do feel like you're a bit at a crossroads though, because you realize that the energy that you've been working for, you've kind of outgrown. And I feel like part of you though, like isn't exactly ready to let it go, because there's like a part of you that has become comfortable with this image of yourself. This seems to be kind of a common theme that I'm picking up. With the energetic shifts that we had with the Lionsgate portal, there's almost like an awakening of true callings that got sent out to a lot of people that are, you know, ready to level up in a way. But there's almost this sense with you where I feel like there's a bit of a mental resistance to move away from old ideas that no longer serve. I do feel like you have a very beautiful, pleasant energy about you. I do feel like you're quite beautiful. I do feel like, I don't know why I just heard voluptuous. Don't mean to sound like a creep. But yeah, a lot of like beautiful Venus energy almost, in a way. Okay, angels and guides of pile number 3, angels and guides of pile number 3. What else do they need to hear? What is holding them back from their destiny? What is holding pile number 3 back from their destiny, Spirit? Okay, that wanted to come out. Yeah, it's time to stop fighting with yourself. Let the old structures crumble, hun. Here, look, you got the tower at the back of the deck. There's this feeling of you fighting the inevitable. See, there's two swords coming up here. You're definitely very upper chakra, crown based, which isn't a bad thing. It's a good thing if you know how to harness in those powers, because they are powers, quite honestly. I am hearing you need to incorporate some type of meditation practice. Spirit saying kind of not negotiable. That's like the one thing that's going to help you level up. Like look, you've got like 3 major arcana cards here. Like there's some major shifts going on in your life and you can't avoid these, and they're not going to be bad ones. I feel like I want to rant about this really quick, because I feel like a lot of people, when they see the Tower card, they freak out and they think that something negative is bound to happen. And I just want to say that I don't look at the Tower card as a negative card at all. I feel like shaking shit up in your life isn't always a bad thing. There are people that are super stagnant and they need those shakeups to enter new cycles. They need those shakeups to learn major lessons. They need those shakeups to teach other people major lessons. Sometimes the Tower card isn't even about you. It could be that maybe like you're involved in a situation that might be a little jolting, but at the same time, it's always for the best. The things that happen in your life, whether they seem scary or negative, at the end of the day, if you're a good person and you lead with light, they are only for your highest and greatest good. You know, the universe is never going to, what is it that I always hear Spirit say? No pain is ever in vain. Okay, it never is. And I feel like a lot of us need to realize that, and I had to realize that too, because when shit, even like to this day, as you know, as much as I'm integrating into my soul's energy and as much work as I put in every day, I still feel like there's always something else I need to release at the end of the day. And you shouldn't let that steal the sunshine away from your life. Okay, there's some heartbreak here. Yeah, okay, so sometimes I'm hearing that you need to cut some cords. There are people in your life that have outgrown your energy. Or sorry, you've outgrown their energy. And I feel like that's why there's a lot of, oh, I wish you could see these. Okay, sorry. Five of Wands reverse, another 5. Yeah, there's some shakeups for sure. 4 Cups in reverse, 3 of Swords upright. There's either like I'm hearing internal battles. So so maybe you have internal battles about certain people in your life. This might be for some of you, not all of you, but I do feel like for some of you there is some type of conflict that is weighing really heavy on your heart, that you kind of feel like you need to release. And sometimes I feel like when you think about the situation, it's like sometimes you can have a positive outlook on it and look at like the higher purpose behind it, but then it's almost like when you're either in certain environments that trigger those memories back, or certain emotions reminding you of certain people, or items reminding you of certain people, certain situations, it's almost like that's where like the turn for the worst takes place type thing. And I feel like there's almost a sense of internal battle, like should I do what's best for me, or is having these people, these things, places around, like are these what I really want to hold dear? And there's almost this sense of like faking it till you make it, because you don't really know where your decision is going to take you. So it's almost like you're avoiding making a solid decision because you kind of just want to see where the wind takes you, and that's okay. But just understand that sometimes, like, sorry, need a water break. But sometimes you have to understand that, like, I'm hearing like you need to let others figure it out on their own. I feel like there's almost this sense of like wanting to save everybody, even though you don't necessarily even have the tools to save yourself at this point. Because let's be serious, like none of us have all the tools to save ourselves at any given moment. There's something that we acquire along the journey that it's like little steps forward, you know, like it's not anything. Yeah, my candle's agreeing. They're not major leaps ever. You might have time periods where you're going through major ascension and it feels like you're, you know, leaping very quickly. But there are certain situations where temperance, calm, patience is needed, and it's almost like there's a resistance that I'm feeling in your energy. And that resistance I feel is what leaves you heartbroken a lot of the time, because I feel like you fight very hard to hold on to things, but then there's this sense of you also realizing that, like, it's almost like you're aware that you do this in a way, like you know that you're like this, and it's like you know that you want to change this, but it's like you don't really know how. But I'm really being taken back to the Temperance card. It's like there is a need to go off on your own, sit with yourself, be introspective about your energy, what you've gone through in the past, how these cords might still be affecting you, cutting those cords off, moving on, and letting go of internal battles. I do feel like there is so much on your mind, and I feel like the stuff that's on your mind just breaks your heart a lot of the time, and it's like, is it really constructive for me? Like, is this energy constructive for me? I don't know. It's like you're like in this like limbo where like you don't want to admit it because it's like too heartbreaking for you to admit. But I do feel like you're getting really sick of being in this energy. I feel like you're just waiting for the ground under you to just kind of like fall through, like I said earlier. And I just want to let you know that even when you're in these moods where you're like, ugh, nothing ever works out for me, nobody ever understands me, It's like you don't realize the amount of progress that you make energetically when you kind of sit with yourself and work through your anger. I'm just hearing you might have Mars in Aries. Could be that you get very angry with people or even yourself. I'm hearing, yeah, it could be both. I do feel like you're quite fiery with your emotions. And I feel like this can sometimes get the better of you, and maybe like there's almost like, I just heard like slip of the tongue. It's like you say things that like you don't really mean deep down. I do feel like it's almost like a sense of like a defense mechanism in a way. I think that when you start realizing that the way you treat others is a mirror of how you feel internally, I think that you'll be more intentional about the way that you approach other people and situations. I do feel like there's a need to be isolated for a little bit, because I do think that you're quite sensitive, even if you try and act like a tough guy. And I think I think that for this reason, it's hard for you to want to see yourself in other people. And hey, I don't blame you. I understand that feeling completely. But it's very important to be honest with yourself. As cutthroat and honest you are with other people, you gotta do the same with you. And it might hurt and it might be difficult, but ultimately this is the only way that you move forward. And I do feel like that's just the biggest thing holding you back. I feel like there's a need to kind of let go of a need to be defensive. Yeah, surrender. Fall into my arms, surrender, holding the opposites, extremes of life. Yeah, see how I was saying, like with this card over here, it's like so different. It's like the two extremes. It's like your mind can be in a really good place, and then all of a sudden it's like bam. This is it. They want you to surrender to your feelings, because I feel like part of you feels very alone at times and misunderstood, because it's like I do feel like you're quite a sensitive person and quite an empathic person. And I do want to say right now, I do think you're a starseed. So with the other two groups, I chose, like I had a different deck. I wasn't using the Starseed deck, and so I'll give you a little story quickly. So yesterday I decided to get ambitious and do half of my readings before I took my clients, because I also do lashes. And so I usually never do that. So I got up early and yeah, I got ready, whatever. I did my 2 readings, and then I was short on time, so I had to wait to do yours today. And I surrendered to that, quite literally, like the card there. But the reason why I surrendered to it was because A, I trust that there are beings around me that love me and that are here to help me energetically, but they can't help me unless I let them in. And that's exactly like in this card. I don't know if you can see that clearly, but it's like there's like almost like angel souls and even ancestors up at the top that are all around you and that are praying for your healing, and they're willing to heal you as long as you surrender to them and surrender to your anger and stop trying to be so in control of things. There's a need, I'm hearing, there's something to reconcile with your inner child. So I would also maybe look into doing inner child work if you haven't. I feel like you're also around some people that hold very different visions of life. And I feel like these are the people that piss you off. I just want to say, we need to let these people live the life that they're meant to live. You are not in charge of healing people. You're not in charge of waking people up. You're not in charge of guiding others unless they're willing to be guided. I'm telling you right now, I do the same thing. Wanting to fix everybody can sometimes be a detriment to your own energy, and you need to, yes, of course, be giving and help when you feel called to, but also know when to let go, step back, and let people live their lives. Because as much as you try and help certain people with your words, some people just, I was talking about this yesterday with a client. It's like some souls have literally chosen to stay the way they are. Like that's what they chose to do in their incarnation. And unfortunately, sorry, I got cut off. Unfortunately, as painful as it is to see people that we love not see eye to eye or not see things the way we do, it's so important to just let them go. Because, well, I don't even want to say let them go, but just let the force go. That sounds like very Star Warsy. Let things just flow. Forge, don't follow, pave a new path, be the leader you wish you had. Yeah, don't let other people not seeing your vision or seeing like your ideas like in the way that they come to your mind, like don't let those people damper you, because I feel like that's also where this like big mood shift comes from a lot of the times. It's like you let other people influence you sometimes, and it's like you weren't meant to do that in this life. You're meant to bring your own light in, and that's going to look different for everybody. And the more authentic that you are with your light, the more other people that are also authentic will sniff that out and they'll come to you, and you won't feel as, I don't know why I just heard segregated from the people around you, if that's how you're feeling. Yeah, at the bottom of the deck here is deep cellular healing, Arcturus energy, physical and emotional healing. I feel like there's a need to step back, stop fighting with others, stop fighting with yourself, and just surrender to the healing that's needed. I feel that very strongly for you, and I do feel like you're willing to do it. I feel like part of you feels like defeated when you have to admit that something's off. And I just want to say that like there's nothing wrong with you. Everybody has stuff they have to work through. Nobody's perfect. Oh, there's a hair in my deck. Nobody's perfect. Everybody has their crap that they deal with at the end of the day, and I think the strength comes in admitting either that you, I don't want to say you need help, maybe you do, I don't know, maybe you need to consult with someone you trust and like have them guide you, but I don't know, I feel like Spirit, and Spirit has said this to me in the past too, it's like Spirit wants you to stop taking things so seriously. I feel like a lot of us starseeds, we incarnate and we feel a very strong mission here on earth, and for that reason we take our incarnations very seriously, especially if they're one of our last incarnations, or we find this incarnation to be very important. And I just want to let you know that that's why you take things so seriously, and I think that's why you can be very sensitive to things that happen. Because I feel like part of you doesn't realize how sensitive you are or how intuitive you are, or maybe you do, maybe some of you don't though. I feel like there are some that maybe haven't developed their intuition as much, but let me tell you, Spirit's really calling you to meditate. And I say this to people, it doesn't have to be long, you don't have to meditate like the Buddha. Do whatever feels right, do whatever feels comfortable. You don't necessarily have to listen to how other people do it. Just do what feels right to you, and just do it 5 minutes in the morning. Like it doesn't have to, or in the evening, it doesn't have to be anything serious. But I promise it will really help to still your mind, help with introspection, stop you from having to have the last word with people. It'll help you stop feeling like you need to interject so that you can save people. And I just feel like it will just help you like get moving a little bit more. Okay, angels and guides of pile number 3, angels and guides of pile number 3. And I just want to say that I feel like you do have very strong leadership capabilities. I don't know if you're a little bit younger and not feeling as confident in them, or it could just be that you have a bit of a younger soul and you're learning how to grapple with these gifts. But Spirit's saying just be patient and just allow yourself to flow. Let them guide you into it, okay? Ooh, okay. These two jumped out. Take time to breathe out. Guys, like, I can't lie. Oh no, my camera's gonna die. I gotta wrap this up quick. See? Meditate. Meditate. Confirmation right there. Take time to breathe out. That's exactly what it is. Bring love into the situation. Allow yourself to love yourself, others for who you are and for who others are. Don't try and force. It's not going to get you anywhere, I'm telling you. Nothing will come out of this situation. What am I saying? If you're judgmental, if you're argumentative, nothing will come out of it. Okay? Nothing positive, nothing that will advance your soul. But if you start focusing on your own energy, if you start focusing on your own path, if you give yourself the love that you know you deserve, I really think things are going to be really amazing, and that's how you're going to unlock your true power. Pile number 3. I hope that this reading resonated. I hope you're doing well. Sending you a huge hug. I hope you have a great morning, evening, afternoon. I missed the afternoon. Whenever you're watching this. Oh, and if you want a personal reading with me, links in bio. Okay, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.